What's up, gang? Welcome to a special RTI. This is a hidden special. So if you found this one, then congratulations. You've located a hidden video. But anyway, so today's cartoon drawing class, what we're going to do is we're going to draw Pokemon. And I'm going to put a twist on these Pokemon. I'm going to actually be mixing them with characters from the Marvel Universe, okay? So, yeah, let's get our drawing supplies ready. We're going to have a pencil. I have 2 pencils, an eraser, pencil sharpener if you need one, and some pens for inking if you want to make your drawing nice and finished. But I'm going to make this video as short and sweet as possible. So we're going to start off with an easy picture, move into a medium picture, and then of course finish up with a harder picture, okay? They're not going to be that hard because they're Pokemon, because Pokemons aren't that difficult to draw, okay? So let's start off with our first character, alright? So we are going to start off first of all with a circle. This is the body. If you need any time to catch up, of course, to any of these steps, and you please pause the video and then resume once you have these shapes down, okay? The next shape we're going to do for the left leg, his right leg, but our left, is going to be a semicircle sticking out of the circle, and that is the thigh. And then coming right out of the bottom of the thigh, we're going to put a small, even smaller, skinnier semicircle. Kind of looks like a tongue. Okay, so the next one, or the right side, his left leg, we're going to put a circle. Circle on the side. And that's going to be overlapping the bottom right of the first circle we drew. And then coming out from the bottom, we're going to put a small semi-oval. Good enough. So this is the body, these are the 2 legs. So the upper body, we're just going to put a small trapezoid, smooth trapezoid. Anytime we're drawing anything organic, it has to be smooth on the edges and the corners. Don't make it rough or sharp, because that's not how we look. We have these edges and corners here. The only thing that's probably going to look sharp are the fingernails, perhaps teeth if you give them sharp teeth, or spikes and horns, or even talons, okay? So let's not make the shoulders or the elbows sharp, unless of course, like I said before, they have horns or talons or something, okay? So coming out of the upper body, we have an arm, and this arm is just a rectangle coming out diagonally from the shoulder, and it's going into the tummy. Another one is coming down, and it's going to cross over the circle we did for the thigh on the right leg, the right side of the leg, and that's going to come back up just like that. And then it has a triangle in the back for a tail, just like that. Alright, so this is the hard part. I'm sorry that this easy picture has something hard in it, but in order to do this character, it's going to need this, okay? So we're going to take it step by step. First thing we're going to do is make a circle, a large circle on the top of the trapezoid. This is going to be the head, but the head has some detail to it, so we are going to be taking this step at a time, okay? Sticking out of the side of the circle, we're going to have a rectangle coming off the side. Coming off the bottom of the circle, we're going to have a triangle. And coming off the center of our circle diagonally down, we're going to have a diagonal line, another diagonal line coming down the shoulder, and then it's going to have a small point at the bottom and come rounded towards the top like a beak. After the rectangle here, I'm sorry, the rectangle, we're going to come up towards the upper left hand side of the circle, and we're going to put some smooth triangles like horns coming off the head, and then we're going to put another one in the upper right, coming back down, and we're going to finish up the shape of the head just like that. Alright, so now I'm going to take my eraser and I'm going to start erasing all the lines that I don't need anymore, mostly the ones that are inside the head. So all these pieces that are connecting the horns and the beak, you can erase the forearm, the shoulder, just like that. So the head is just one big, kind of like a dinosaur skull shape. Then you can erase the line that's making the tummy on the very top. Tummy going through the arm, the thigh going through the arm. This leg, we can erase the line that's going through the thigh. And then the foot is connected to that. So we're going to go ahead and erase those two lines on both sides. Just like that. Okay, we're almost done. So the eyeball over here is going to kind of be like a very soft triangle. So it's going to be right below the upper left horn. We have this rounded like triangle. And then for the nose, right above this tooth here, we're going to have another triangular shape for the nose. And then we're going to bring this side of the skull in slightly. And we can erase the part that's digging in as well as the part that's sticking up. Just like that. For this arm, we're just going to go ahead and draw a line coming down for the thumb, coming up, and on the tip of the thumb we're going to put a triangle for a nail because this Pokemon has a nail, and then the fingers are going to fold over the hand just like that. On this side we're going to make the hand, or make a triangle coming off of the arm, that's the thumb, and then we're going to put the nail sticking out, but then we're going to put a kind of like a circular shape because it's holding onto this bone, onto what looks like a leg bone. Okay, so that circle is there because it's grasping something. So I'm just going to go ahead and erase the hole. It has that bone sticking out here. Okay, so I'm erasing part of the leg there so that you can actually draw the bone there. I'm not actually going to put a bone. I'm going to show you guys what I'm going to do with it. Because like I said before, we are going to combine a Marvel character to these Pokemon. Okay, so on the top of the tummy, we're going to go ahead and put a line to block off the tummy area. And then we're going to put a curved line over the toes. Curved line over that toe. Now it's time to do some detail on the skull. We have a line coming up and around the eye. And this is the socket of the skull. And it's just going to mimic the same line as the inside eye part over here. And then on the outside where this thing points out, we're just going to draw a line going to the edge of the skull. Another one towards the bottom part. We're going to extend that out to the edge of the skull. And it's going to be cracked coming down. Then we're going to put a small crack coming, well actually we're going to copy the same thing we did here on the eye. We're going to do the same thing around the nose. So it has a cavity as well. So we're just going to copy that same kind of contour line that goes around the nose, and then cutting back and down to the tooth, is the crack of the skull. I'm just going to erase this line, making this curve here too. And I forgot to erase the line that's separating the shoulder from the arm and body. So it looks nice and cemented together. Okay, this line, just make it darker because that is the skull on the other side. Alright. We can put some lines in the middle of the skull. We can put some lines going to the front of the nose. We can put some lines at the base of the horns. Okay, that's all details that make our pictures look more dynamic or more complete. Just like that. Okay, inside his hand over here, I'm just going to put what looks like a soda can. So I'm going to put a cylinder, which is just a circle with two lines connected. Now we are just going to add some details to this character to make it look more like a marble figure. We are going to make ovals coming out of the soda can, and we are going to make them look like it's snaking around the ground and coming back the other direction. Just like that. And what we're going to do on the top of the head area is we are going to create a nice little outline with wavy lines. To make it look like there's fire coming off of his head. And we can also do the same thing on top of the chain. You can give it a little wiggly lines to make it look like there's fire coming off of it. It comes back to the handle. If you want, you can put gloves, which are just going to be curved lines around the wrist. You can give, this is going to be the boots right here, going across the feet. But then you can put a jacket on it. Going across the tummy, you can put a line like it has a belt. It comes up into a small hill or a small mountain, and then it comes back around. And then the design, if we erase the tummy design, coming up from the side, we can draw a line going up and then cutting across the chest, and then cutting back down to the other side. And very simply, we have a Ghost Rider Pokemon. So you can use your pens if you want. You can go ahead and outline your work and color in your work. I think his name is a Cubone Pokemon, but he is imitating Ghost Rider. This one's a pretty easy one, but once again, because of the details, makes it a little tougher. But it's a Pokemon, so it's an easy picture. So we're going to start off with a big circle in the middle of our paper. And like I said, pause if you need to, so that you can catch up. Okay. So after you make your circle here, in the upper left hand corner of the circle, we're going to put another circle. That's going to be slightly smaller than the first circle we put. Kind of looks like a snowman. And then I'm going to take my eraser now and just kind of erase the lines I don't want. So I just kind of clean up that circle. And then I'm going to go ahead and erase the circle that's going through from the body, so that we have the head nice and evened out there. Okay? Alright. So now the arm, we're going to go ahead and draw a semi-oval sticking out. And then the second arm is going to start a little bit below the head. It's going to come up and around like a jelly, almost like a jelly bean. Almost, not quite a jelly bean. And then for the legs, we have a couple of small semicircles. One sticking out from the left, and then the one sticking out from the right side, we're going to make a nice long oval. Make a semi-oval, like that. Coming out from the back of this leg, we're going to put a small square shape. And when it comes forward, we're just going to go ahead and put a couple of sharp triangles. I guess these are the nails, like that. Then we can go ahead and erase the line cutting across the foot. And then sticking out from this oval, we're going to go ahead and put 3 more triangles, because that's what it looks like. 3 triangles together to make another foot. I'm going to erase the top of the, or I should say the bottom of the oval. On this hand, on this arm I should say, we're going to put a few triangles. Apparently these are the fingers, I think. At the very least they look like claws. Erase the pencil going through the claws. Same here on this side. Put 1, 2, 3 claws, or 3 triangles for the claws. Sticking out from the upper part of the ear, we have an oval, both sides for the ears. And sticking out from the back, we have kind of a big oval, like a, I want to say like a squirrel, but kind of like a squirrel. Big oval sticking out from the back. So there's another shape there. Okay, and that's pretty much all the shapes we need for the figure. Let's come in for the detail on top of the ears. So the ears, the one on the right anyway, the ears are going to come down and around, and it's going to turn into a small circular shape, and that's going to jump off the head, that circular shape. And then after that circular shape, you're going to have this kind of rounded line going to the top like wings or clouds. And you're going to go ahead and erase the lines in between there. And then we're going to put a line going through the top of the ear, just like that. For the other ear, we're just going to put another bump coming down. And as it comes to the bottom, I'm going to put another bump. Using our eraser, we get rid of that smoother ovular line to bring out the details here on this, on these little clouds or wing-like shapes. That looks good. Okay, let's come back to the tail. The tail is very very detailed. So on the top, we're gonna curl in a line on the top to make it look like a cloud, just like that. I'm gonna erase that part of the oval that was once there, so it looks nice and even. And then we're gonna have a small bump coming out of the circular shape, the bottom part, and continuing down. Then we're going to go ahead and erase the outside of that cloud-like shape, and then we're going to do another cloud-like shape coming in from the bottom. So down from the bottom, coming back in, and then going up. On the top of this tail, we're going to have a couple lines coming down, and from the back part of the tail, we're going to have a couple lines coming out. Alright, this creature does have a shell on its back. So from the face, from the head down to the shoulder, I'm just going to draw a curved line. And then from the lower shoulder down to, oh, the leg actually comes up. Didn't realize that. We're going to have a rounded line going into the body, and then we can erase part of the body here. Oh, I look funny. Okay, now from the lower part of the shoulder down to the leg, we're going to put another curved line. We're going to mirror this line here once again, and we are going to draw around the shoulder and then back down to the leg. Now on the back here, so this is going to be a shell, so we're just going to put a couple lines going curved downwards just to put some textures on top of our shell. And then for the tummy, below the chin over here, we're going to put a V, and that V is going to be a shadow. But from the V, right at the tip here, we're going to draw a curved line from the tip all the way down close to the bottom. So what I'm going to do here is between the two legs, I'm going to put a small hill, like a mountain, and then I'm going to draw the bottom of the V to the top of the mountain. I'm going to draw a curved line coming down and touching the top, and then across the chest I'm going to draw a line. What we're going to do is in the middle of the circle, we're going to draw a couple of lines like that, pointed downwards like a V, but they don't connect. And right below those lines, we're going to put a couple of ovals. So on one side, we're going to put an oval, and on the other side, we're going to put another oval, semi-oval anyway, because it's going to stop right underneath that angled line. That's the eyebrows, and it's kind of downwards, like it's angry. Okay, so anyway, let's add a little bit more to the mouth because it has cheeks. So from underneath the eye, we're just going to make a little bump coming down to the bottom of the circle. And then we're going to have the other bump coming up to the top of the head. And then I'm just going to go ahead and erase the circle, the original circle that we had going through. So now we have space for the mouth. Okay, so starting on one side, we're going to put a line coming down into a beak, and then it comes back up from the beak, and then comes across the face and back up outside the eyes, and right below the left and right sides of the mouth, we're going to have two triangles. The nose is going to be two sesame seeds near the point of the lip, and the eyes are going to be two ovals inside these angry looking shapes. And inside those inner ovals, we're just going to put a circle so that we have the eye shine. From here, we are going to create, or should I say, we're going to blend this Pokemon character with a Marvel figure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a couple lines going across where the hands are. Just like that. Because this Marvel figure wears gloves. So it's going to cross both hands. just like that. Put a couple of ovals, well actually just probably one oval because you can only see one elbow on this side here. And then we're going to connect the elbow with 2 lines, just like that. Alright, so if we go to the legs, we can put a couple of rounded lines for the boots. And on the knees, we have a couple of knee pads. Lines coming out the side of both knee pads. We have a belt. The belt goes across the tummy. So now I'm going to go ahead and erase some of the details we had from before. This line actually matches up with the belt, so I'm going to keep that line. And that's going to cut across the tummy. Go across the shell, come up to the detail of the shell. That works perfectly, so we don't have to get rid of that detail. And on the belt, we're just going to put a rectangle in the middle. And then over the shoulder, we're going to put a couple of lines coming up and over, going to the back of the shell. So once again, I'm going to be erasing some detail, but I'm going to be also adding detail because there should be a square here. Also on this side, we're just going to add a little bit more to that side, and then we're going to put some small lines, making a buckle going over the shoulders on the other side. Now, using the center of the chest here, I'm going to put a triangle coming downwards, and then I'm going to extend it out to 2 lines. And then that's going to come back in, and then we're going to go ahead and form the legs. Just like that. And on the front of this, the turtle front shell, we're going to go ahead and put some lines coming downwards, some stripes coming down the shell. We don't have to go all the way around, just on the front is fine. We're going to create a mask. So the mask is going to actually come from the mouth area and go up on the bridge of the nose and come back down. And it's going to come back up and expose the cheeks here. And then it's going to come back around the head and down, where it's going to come up into a small strap on the chin. In the middle of the forehead, we're going to put a letter A. Block letter A. And on this arm, we're just going to draw a semicircle over the top and a semicircle coming out the bottom of the arm, just like that. And then we're going to draw a couple of straps with buckles coming over the forearm. And a couple semicircles that you can see on the top. telling us that those straps are stuck to this shield. And then that's it. That's the end of our I think this is Squirtle. Doesn't really look like Squirtle because Squirtle, I don't remember having these ears, but it's a Squirtle-like character that has been changed into Captain America. Okay, so that's the end of our second picture. Moving on to the harder one. Okay, here's our last one. This is the hardest one, and this is probably one of the most famous, most sought after, and most popular. Like, everyone loves this character. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and do our final Pokemon, and then we're gonna change this Pokemon into a Marvel character starting now. So this is a hard one, so bear with me. I'm gonna go through it really quick or as fast as possible, but you guys should know this character. Everybody should know this character because this is like the most popular character of the entire Pokemon series. So we're gonna start off by making an oval for the body. And then coming off of the oval, we have these rounded lines coming off both sides. On the top of the oval shape, or the egg shape, we're going to have a big oval shape, but this one's going to be a horizontal oval. Okay, we're going to go ahead and erase the oval that's going through, like that. We have big ovals on the bottom, big ovals, long ovals I should say, coming off the legs. We have these curvy lines coming out of the side of the head, and we're going to have two of them. And at the base of those curvy lines, we're going to put an oval, both sides. The back here is going to have a tail, like a monkey. So we're going to go ahead and double up on that. On the top of the head, we have two big triangles on both sides. Inside those triangles are smaller triangles. In the middle of those triangles, we have a vertical oval. Then we have these spiky lines coming out from the lower part of the oval, the middle part of the oval, and the upper part of the oval. 6 of them. And then finally, we're going to have big football shapes, like that. And then the mouth is going to be parentheses underneath each eye, and then you're going to connect them with a rounded line. You're just going to put a couple triangles under that, and then right next to those triangles on either side, we're going to put a curved line coming down across the tummy, and then we can erase the line of the tummy. And put some of these vertical lines or horizontal lines going across the oval. And that's it. We are done. We're pretty much done with the Pokemon. Yeah. So here you go, your favorite, one of your favorite Pokemon. I believe his name is Meowth. I know you guys love this guy. So very simple, but very detailed, which makes it hard. Okay, so what we're gonna do is now we're gonna change this character into a Marvel figure. So let's add some details to it. Okay, so let's start with the arms. The arms are gonna have a curved line going across the forearm because this guy wears gloves. Okay, and then we're going to have a line going across the tummy, twice, and that's going to be the belt. Just like that. On either side of the arm, we're going to go ahead and put a couple triangles coming up to the face. And then we're going to put a couple triangles coming down from the mouth, like teeth. And then on the side of the ribs, we're going to put little triangles coming in. Put about 4 horizontal triangles and 2 vertical ones. In the middle of his belt, we're going to put a rectangle, and inside that rectangle we're just going to put a cross or an X going across the middle. For the feet, we're just going to put a triangle coming up by the knee. On both sides, put a triangle coming up by the knee. And then on the inside of the leg, we're going to put another triangle going behind the leg. And then we can erase the lines that are going through our triangles. We don't need all that messing with our brains. And then from there, we're just going to draw a line that's copying the contour of these 2 triangles, and they're going to meet in the middle and come down the shin. So this is the underside of the boot, so we're not going to worry too much about that one. So that's done. But on this side, when we draw the line coming up and back down for the triangle there, we're going to continue the line coming down the shin. It's going to go to the front of the foot, and it's going to go down in front of the toes. So there's the boot. So let's work on the head. So the head, we're going to draw, first of all, we're going to separate the ears from those pokey things sticking out of his head. So we're going to separate those a bit. Make sure that those pokey things actually exist inside its head, because it's coming from his face. Okay. Alright, so for the mask, what we're going to do is we are going to draw a line from the corner of the ear. It's going to come around and down towards the middle of the face, around the eye. Just like that. And that's going to continue down close to the lip, and then it's going to pull back under the eye, and then it's going to come down the side of the mouth. You can leave the eyes without pupils because the character, the Marvel character that we are changing it into doesn't really have eyes. You can't see the pupils or anything. In fact, if you want to, we can even go a step further and erase the smaller triangles inside the mask. So now it's easier to see the mask itself. I'll put the line across the tail, the monkey tail. Alright, and then finally we're going to add the claws, and the claws are just lines like nails, like cat nails, coming down out of the fists. Just like that. And then we can go ahead and mimic those same lines with another line connected to it to make it look like it's a nice thick blade or claws coming out. Just like that. Both sides you can do it. Claws are shooting forward, so they should be blocking out any of the details that you had drawn before them. Alright, so there we have our Pokemon Meowth. And he's costumed up to be one of the not so popular Marvel characters, Wolverine. I don't know if anybody knows who that is, but basically this is what Wolverine looks like. He has this weird costume and these nails that come out and scratches people. But yeah, and that is the end of our special RTI cartoon drawing. I hope you guys had fun. Good job finding this secret video. And check out any of the other links and enjoy the arts. Take care. See you next time.